Tonight, experts are concerned the pandemic and stay-at-home order may cause people struggling with addiction to relapse and also trigger people who don't usually have a problem. I spoke today with the executive director of the Hazelton Betty Ford Foundation, Tessa Voss. Tessa, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
How has this crisis impacted people struggling with addiction?
Definitely a huge amount. You know, people, we've seen increases in crisis calls right now during this time because just like for everybody, anxiety and stress really impact those with substance use disorder. And so people are really struggling right now.
With the stay-at-home order still in place, are you finding that there are people who are now, unfortunately, going back to some of their struggles with addiction?
We have, we see that the relapse risk factors that people have, like isolation, stress, anxiety, those have all been amplified in this crisis for people with addiction. But we also do see people in recovery who have additional resiliency factors that have also been amplified. So things like reaching out for help, using new coping skills. And so while there's relapse risk factors that have been strengthened and more difficult for people, we also see that on the other side, that coping skills have also been strengthened, and people reaching out for help and connecting with their communities has been amplified in a really positive way as well.
Is it difficult helping people who aren't as able to leave their homes right now?
Definitely. We did about a month ago in mid-March go virtual for all of our outpatient care, which has been tremendous to get access to people who need help but who need to stay home, whether it's in their sober living environment or at home with their families to stay safe and not have as much connection with the community, but they're able to connect to counseling and group therapy virtually.
And are you also concerned, Tessa, that with a lot of people now staying at home, trying to find ways to deal with the stress and the anxiety, that you're going to find a new wave of people who are addicts?
Definitely. Well, we've seen, addiction, alcohol sales and legal marijuana sales increase in the last month significantly. And so people are using chemicals to cope, and that can lead to more problematic use, which is concerning. And we know people will be reaching out for help. We see that the medical crisis with people, needing to go to the ER and having more medical surges will also be paralleled in the behavioral health setting, where more people will need help and need access to it quickly.
So what do people need to do if they are in need of help, or if they know somebody who's in need of help?
Call for help. There's on our website, the hazeltonbettyford.org website, there's a lot of resources to help understand what might be problematic and what to do from there. There's blogs and there's information, whether or not you're a patient or a family member. That's one place to start. Or if it's becoming more severe and significant, where people are concerned about someone's health and safety, call our phone number, 1-800-I-DO-CARE is a great place. There's also crisis numbers in the community. I know through Riverside Public Health, there's crisis numbers that people can reach out and talk to someone to kind of go through what's going on in their home and what are some options for them to get help.
And you just mentioned the number. It's 1-800-I-DO-CARE, and the website is?
hazeltonbettyford.org.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tessa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.